Okay, it's recording now.
All
Okay.
right, cool.
Oh, let me start a timer to make sure we talk for long enough.
Okay. I'm gonna try pulling up the lab right now.
Okay, the timer's started. Good to go. Okay, so like the easiest part, I'm pretty sure, it's like part one was pretty simple. Most of it was at least the very first two were fairly simple.
Yeah.
I think part three was really simple as long as you got part one right. So like
Yeah,
as soon as you got part one, it's just comparing. I think the one thing that was kind of tedious was probably the fact that I had to get two other partners because
yeah,
I don't know that many people in the class. So
yeah. I guess we know the people from like our previous lab. That's pretty much it.
yep.
Yeah, part one basically leads into part two, as you said.
Yeah.
The only one I thought was slightly tricky was the fourth one, for example, or for part two, the example 4. I thought that it wasn't possible because I don't get how infinity can be bounded, but
Mm,
that's just the only one that confused me.
yeah, true. I mean, for me, the continuous function drawing that was like really simple because you could draw whatever function you wanted to. So like it some people might have minimas and maximas, but I was just like straight line. Like
I
they
don't see
tell
how
me to draw a graph, I'm gonna draw a graph like that.
example three was of part two was kind of confusing for me. I don't see how a function can be continuous and yet have like two like definitive domain, like a definitive domain like that doesn't make sense to me. I don't get how it would work.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
Can't be like
continuous but
unbound
bound.
music. So I don't know. Well, other than that, everything was fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how does this connect with our previously learned lessons?
So,
Uh,
I don't think it really does. This feels like a different concept compared to derivatives,
yeah, it's
limit.
yeah, I feel like we're just doing a whole new theorem. Like that.
yeah,
That's kind of what the lab is about.
it seems
Yeah.
a little out of place. And first, like even like the other lab seems like more related to our current studying than this. Like the last lab we did taught us chain rule, which we use a lot. This is really I don't really see how this factors into what we've been learning so far. But I don't know. Maybe I guess it'll probably come in handy like in the next section, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like I think
Okay.
I don't know.
I think one of you guys brought up the question of how does it affect you in the real world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I guess maybe it's a good to track maybe projected growths or what to expect.
yeah, it's good for
during-
that.
I think that's about like all we would use it for though. That theorem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we still got 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me think of something. Hold on.
What was your favorite part in doing the lab?
Uh, I guess just the first part, because I'm pretty familiar with like defining domains, stuff like that. I always liked that. Like
I agree.
it's just simple.
I
Uh,
think you could going back to the real world thing. I think you could use the extreme value theorem for like goods and services. Like you could like go to Publix or whatever, and then just like project what you should charge, and then what you should gain as well, like in terms of like profit margin. And
yeah.
even like you could just calculate hours of like your employees and stuff like that.
Yeah. Not like math, not like some of the concepts we learned are like really helpful, like in managing businesses. Like
Yeah.
I remember like previously, it was tracking like the rate of growth, like in another chapter, or in like the last chapter, we are doing like a question about projecting growth. So like a lot of these that seem to be focused on that. So this class will be like good for business, I think. At least it seems like.
Okay.
Is there any part you guys are still confused on?
I don't think so. But
No, I'm not confused with any other parts.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to check the answers and see if I did it right. That's about it.
I think there was like a typo or something. 'Cause some of the problems, like some of the stuff that was asked, doesn't really make sense. I don't see how it could be possible. So I'm kind of confused on that. But other than like that, I don't really see anything.
Do you remember the difference between the for the domain when it's brackets and when it's parentheses? I know brackets means it includes only those numbers specifically, but I don't know what the rounded ones mean.
Whenever it's wait, sorry, were you asking when it's like a parenthesis? A parenthesis means has a rounded dot at the end. It's like an inequality. So it like can't exist or it doesn't can't. You know
Oh,
what
it
I
has
mean?
like an okay. So no, like an empty hole at the
Yeah, like the donut.
okay. Um, what is something you are excited to learn about in the future?
Just if this means we're doing more like graph related stuff, like creating and like analyzing graphs, I'm down for that because I kind of like that sort of thing.
For me, graphs are really easy, so I don't really like derivatives or stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm more like a visual person. I like get it better when it's like laid out like in a visual. You know what I mean?
Okay. Um,
You guys have any?
huh?
Sorry, never mind. Okay. That's pretty much it. We're good now. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.